Moving on, let's talk about them dirty birds, the Atlanta Falcons. Worst QB in the league last year.
That's what I wrote
That
down.
sucked. Yeah.
They
at
were
heart, soul, it felt like it.
Yes, Bryce Young, who we just talked about, may have had some of the worst team stats in passing, but watching Falcons games, really bad passes.
Yeah.
You could see fantasy points evaporating with players open in the end zone and balls thrown 3 yards away from a receiver.
Dark times.
2023 results: 9th in rushing. That'll be Bijan and Algier. 22nd in passing yards, and overall 26th in points scored. So there's a lot of room for improvement.
Talk about that coaching room there. We got some new coaches, head coach, offensive coordinator.
Arthur Smith out, Raheem Morris in, Zach Robinson coming over from the Rams, coming from the West Coast, coming in.
Yeah.
The O-line was great last year, and they're all returning. There's, like I just said, a ton of room for improvement with just better play calling, better play design, better quarterback. Like not a quarterback not holding the team back.
That's a cool thing. That's a cool thing.
Do you want to jump to quarterback?
Let's jump to that quarterback. The team that was so bad at quarterback, they went and got 2 of them.
They did. And they might have cheated to get Kirk. We have at this point, we don't know if there's going to be a punishment coming down for how they courted him to their team. But for us, we don't really care. And that stuff usually doesn't fall onto the players in any way or the team throughout the year.
So his 2023 dead.
Tore his Achilles. Right. I think this is the thing where we start to talk about, like, can you remember what happened last year? Through week 5, he was QB4. He was excellent.
Yes. Yes, he was.
He's being drafted as QB 18 or ranked as QB 18 right now. The only thing I really care about with him going into the season, as I'm tracking the news, is if I hear bad news. With an injury, you never care about good news. You're really only listening for, he can't go the way we want him to. If someone is writing that story, it means there's some truth there. And that's really if I'm not hearing anything like that, then QB 18 is stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be way too low.
So Kirk Cousins, watch the news. We'll talk about it more as we
in the
offseason, I'm sure. Running back position, Bijan Robinson.
I don't know what to tell you to give you any sort of edge here. He's great. You could maybe take him at number 1 if you really believe CMC is going to fall off based on age, but you don't need any advice here. We don't need to spend any time. It's Bijan Robinson. Just
he was great.
Draft
he was great. He's going to be great. Tyler Algier, 34 last year.
Sleeper. Like he was good before Bijan got there, or usable. Was used last year, which made Bijan owners angry. I think he just has a little bit of skill.
Yeah.
I don't expect him to completely go away, but not a ton of fantasy advice here.
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of know the situation. Algier is maybe a later guy. Wide receiver position. Drake London was ranked 40th last year.
He wasn't good. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's way lower than I expected.
That might be wrong. I'll confirm it because it's such a high number. Talk about where he's being drafted this year.
Currently ranked expert consensus at 14 right now. He
Tell
might
me
be
what
wide
you
receiver
think about
14.
that. You've got my notes there. What do you feel about those two numbers and what you know about Kirk Cousins?
This definitely feels like this is Drake London's time to absolutely pop off, assuming Kirk Cousins is healthy. But, you said you wouldn't pay full price for something that hasn't happened. So I see these two numbers, this disparity, as a bait player. We do auction leagues usually. So this is probably somebody that will pop out there pretty quickly and be like, oh, this guy's going to pop off. And then just let everybody else run the price up and hopefully get some money off of the table.
Yeah.
14 could absolutely happen. It feels like a very realistic thing if Kirk Cousins is at 100%. But like you said, at 40, holy shit, I did not expect that.
So that was not correct, but it was only 39th. So full season, half PPR, Drake London was 39th overall last year.
That is wild.
So going into this year, would you rather have Drake London or Deebo Samuel?
Yeah, Deebo.
Yeah, that's 15 there. Michael Pittman at 16. Pittman has done it. He's been wide receiver 15. Like, I don't know that Drake London jumps over Brandon Ayuk at 10, Devontae Adams at 9. He hasn't even been 14th. He was 39th.
Yeah. Yeah, I think technically I would feel comfortable taking him there. But why? There's so many other good wide receivers around that area that you could take that have been doing really well already.
Yeah.
But that's a really interesting stat to me that he was 39. I mean, granted, the QB position, but still.
They were terrible, but if everybody has the same like secret sleeper guy who's going to break out, you're not going to get him at any sort of value.
Yeah, absolutely. So, tight end, Kyle Pitts, ranked 17th last year, ranked 7 this year. How many years do you think we've been saying Kyle Pitts is going to be very good, and he just does not
season.
Get opportunities? Even it feels like.
Yeah, I don't like to believe the story that Arthur Smith just wasn't using him, and that's because Arthur Smith is dumb. Like he might be stupid. Yeah. But this guy's trying to keep his job, and he really thought that other options for his offense were better than Kyle Pitts over many years.
Yeah.
He's being drafted as tight end 7 or ranked as tight end 7 in half PPR. Evan Engram is tight end 8 in consensus rankings. I'm going to take Engram 100% of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Kyle Pitts, the most toss-up of all toss-ups, I feel like. Who knows who he actually is?
He's still I'll add this in. He's still a top 10, top 12 guy. I'm just not drafting him at 7. I'm not drafting him thinking that I need him. And if I'm drafting him, I'm hoping he finally hits. But I need to get him at a spot where I can pivot off of him after 1 to 2 weeks if it looks like every other year.
Yeah, exactly. So round up for this team, who the hell knows? We're all just waiting to see if Kirk Cousins is at 100%. I mean, I guess Bijan Robinson is, of course, great, but I mean, where's the value on this team?
Kirk.
Yeah. Yeah. I could definitely see that. Kirk is the value. Bijan is who we thought he is. Kyle Pitts.
I totally blanked on Darnell Mooney is there.
There's a reason why you blanked on Darnell Mooney being there.
Yeah. Good NFL player. Does not translate to great fantasy option. He could jump. I mean, he's one of those 40 wide receiver 3s.
Mm-hmm. He's the guy that will give you 2 or 3 absolute highlight reel catches, and then you won't understand how he goes like multiple weeks without doing anything.
This is probably the best offense he's ever played in. So if they're going to him, if he's drawing targets in weeks 1 or 2, I would believe it's real and would connect to it.
Yeah, but everything is up to Kirk.